daughters have to leave. Your rivers flow to the shore, taken deep into the big blue sea.
My name is Joan Byrne, and I've travelled in from just the north side of Dublin because there aren't too many opportunities to actually display dissatisfaction with the way the government has been handling these measures, from these austerity measures, and been handling basically the inertia that they've been around the ECB about not asking for a debt write-down, and simply, you know, what the people of Ireland are simply saying in this private motion that's going on here tonight, which I support, is we need to ask for a write-down, and we need to be standing up and telling Europe that we can't be the fall guys for Europe any longer. I mean, yes, of course I have. You know, my own wages have gone down. Who's haven't? Everybody's wages have gone down. Things have changed, you know, hugely for a lot of people. Hospital. I attend a hospital a lot. I also have a chronically ill child. Waiting lists have been extended. So all of those things, I don't want to keep repeating them ad nauseum. But the dirty little secret is I still have a job, and while my wages have gone down, I'm not yet out the door.
Yes.
I can survive.
Yes.
But I know so many people who have lost their jobs and who have lost work through no fault of their own, are desperately trying to get work, who are up to their neck in debt. You know, each time a new tax, a new bill, a new cut comes in, it's just slowly. It's like a death by 1,000
Yes,
cuts.
yes.
So while I'm managing to survive right now, I don't know about, you know, my funding for my position only goes up to the end of this year, so I might not have a job next year. That's the way
that's more worry.
Works. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I really don't want to think about it, because I'm so sure that I could survive.
With our friend Ballyhea Says No campaign group.
Are you the famous group from down in Cork?
I don't know if that's famous, but we are the group from down in North Cork.
Yeah, one of the few people that has done this country proud by a continual vigilance in this debt issue. Could you maybe explain, Dermot, how the debt issue, rather than the fact the country, how it's affected you personally, your family, friends?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, it hasn't affected me very much. Like, apart from, you know, everybody, I have a good job. My wife has a good job. That's not why we're in it. I'm not in it because of any effect it has had on me personally. I'm in it because of the effect it's having in the country. You know, and like, it's 70 billion euro of a bank debt, and people have yet to join the dots. You know, I mean, people are saying, like, a lot of this we haven't paid it. We're paying interest on this every year now, to the tune of a couple of billion a year. That's 20 billion been taken out of our pension reserve fund. That's another billion a year lost in interest rates there. Plus the money that itself would have been used somewhere else to good effect. So, I mean, it's impacting on everybody in this. This is not about individuals. This is about the entire country. And that's why I'm saying, like, that if there's one issue, any one issue in this country that should unite the whole country, it's this. And I don't care whether, you know, what politics you espouse, what political party you're in. We've never asked anybody who has joined this process, like, what political party are you with? Never.
Yes. The sentiment of the debt should be, some people are saying about renegotiating, but we other people are talking about the whole debt should be repudiated. That means rejected outright. Well,
that's what we're in. Yeah. You know, that the whole debt, the entire debt, 69.7 billion euro, that the entire debt should be repudiated by us as a people.
Yes.
Because what we have said from the beginning here is that this was a problem that began in Europe. It began with the launch of the euro. You know, the euro should never have been launched the way it was launched. It was a totally incomplete currency. Like, of course, we've developed 3 proposals. The third part of that proposal is to go back to the people who caused all this, the money markets, the financiers, and to hit them for the entire cost of all this by putting a financial transaction tax on everything they do, all their dealings. Our government, that's already in train. There are 11 countries who have agreed to do that. They're going to make a lot of money. There's 30 billion going to be made on that in this year. There could be 50 billion made in it if we all signed up to it. But our government has not signed up to that because they're still protecting the people below in the IFSC, which is criminal. They're protecting the very people who caused all this. The only one's gone. Yeah. What we're left with are the EU,
with money in the bank.
And they're still here with the money in the bank. Yeah. You know, and as I say to people, the only bailout that took place in November 2011, the only bailout that took place in December when the agreement was signed was a bailout of the banks, of the bondholders, of the financial institutions that had all those failed bonds and all those failed banks. That was the only bailout that took place. What we're actually doing on December 16th is we're entering the 4th year of the bail-in, because that's what Ireland got, was a bail-in. We didn't get 1 cent of debt write-down, we got debt piled on debt. Additional debt on debt. We have another 60 billion on top of the debt that was there when they came in. So I'm asking people, you know, where is the bailout? Where are we exist?
Well,
it's a complete and absolute joke.
Listen, Dermot, fair play to you and keep up the struggle.
Thank you very much.
Margot Connolly, I'm from Charleville, County Cork, and I'm here with the rest of the Says No groups to, I suppose, just to be here when they vote hopefully against the promissory notes, get rid of the promissory
Okay.
notes.
And tell us,
Well, my husband's self-employed, and obviously after the boom, then you had the bust. Work is very slow. It has affected us. You have less money. We have 3 boys, 3 men now almost. My eldest boy has gone to Australia since June.
he's immigrated because of this crisis, yeah, because of his death.
Yeah. My next guy is in college, but he's doing a course, can't get a job.
Okay.
And my youngest fella is doing his leaving cert and hasn't a clue what's going to happen, what's there for him afterwards. There's nothing.
Okay, so have you had a message tonight to those people in there, 166 well-paid individuals? What would you say to them tonight?
I want them to get rid of the promissory notes. I want us to get rid of this debt that's around our necks, our children and our grandchildren's necks.
Van Chukru.
Where were you coming up from tonight, Yvonne?
I'm from Ballyhea, but I marched with Eireann Says No.
Oh, very good. And tell us, why are you here tonight?
We're here because we're here to support Ballyhea and their proposal on the prom note and bank debt.
Okay. And tell us, personally, how's the whole austerity programme outlaid by this government affecting you and your family and friends?
Me and my family, for one, my father is working in Canada. He's worked all his life in Ireland. His pension is gone.
Sorry, did he have to immigrate because of that?
He had to immigrate because of that.
And your siblings?
The town, and my sisters, I have 5 sisters, and there's one that's working really full time at the moment.
Okay, very good.
They're gone, everyone's gone.
Is it, yeah?
Families it's not just the young that are emigrating, it's families that are emigrating. We're being decimated.
Yeah.
Rural Ireland is being destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
As unjust, and therefore the debt is unjust, therefore we should repudiate it.
And tell us, Eugene, is it true that the Communist Party of Ireland was one of the first political groupings in the state that came out and said that the debt should be repudiated? Hasn't it taken a long time for that message now to get eventually through to some of the other political groupings in the Dail?
Absolutely. The Communist Party from the very beginning, while others were calling for negotiations of it, we come out very clearly of repudiation. It's both from acknowledging that the fact that the debt was imposed upon the Irish people, that we cannot be paid, that simply cannot be paid, is unjust, but also recognising that in other parts of the world, and particularly Latin America, the people there stood up and said repudiation, and that has been the democratic demand right across the world. It's not just an isolated demand from the Irish Communist Party, but it's been a democratic demand made by millions upon millions of people in Latin America, in Africa, in Asia, who have been lumbered with debts for decades. And basically the people took a decision a long time ago, they were not going to pay it, and that brought about the radical political governments that we have in Latin America today, because people said they hadn't had enough of it. They've seen their resources ripped off and taken over by multinationals. They've seen all their wealth being concentrated in a powerful elite at the top, and a lot of their money and reserves and everything else, currency reserves, going out into secret bank accounts in the Cayman Islands and various other hideouts for these big companies and big banks. So the people said no in Latin America, and we think that message is very relevant to us today in Ireland. We say no to this debt. We say no that austerity and debt is linked, and that basically that austerity is about has worked and is about transferring wealth. It's about it's about the expropriation of the people's wealth and giving it to foreign banks.
And tell us, Eugene, the Connolly Youth Movement is a group that was set up many decades ago. I believe the membership has grown steadfastly since this debt issue, and a lot of young people now are actively getting involved in the Connolly Youth Movement. Is that correct?
It is. There's a growing awareness among young people, and a growing numbers of them are joining the Connolly Youth Movement. I wish more would join, but at least there's beginnings now of young people taking on board the whole question, the need for some form of radical change in this country. So we cannot go on the way we are. There's no point in next general election voting for Tweedledum and Tweedledee. That is not going to solve the problem. It's not going to change anything. If young people want a future in society, they're going to have to fight for it. They're going to have to take the future in their own hands and not allow themselves and their future to be determined by either the European Union, by the IMF, or by the external troika or by the internal troika or Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael or Labour. These people are part of the past, they're part of the problem, they're not part of the future. If the youth want a future in this country, they have to take it in their own two hands, they have to fight for it, they have to fight for their own change in Ireland, a more radical change, and then starting with that is a radical renunciation of the debt. In other words, repudiation of the debt is the most radical thing that we have to do to get that huge weight off the people's back. And the young people want a future here, we have to get rid of the debt.
Okay, Eugene, thank you very much.
Your trees are stripped and slain, oil and gas for foreign gain, and the blood that's in our veins, the only